straight off rip. And then we'll have to see what the game plan is going to be. Like, we're still seeing like the Lee Sin ban stay staple for JDG, not wanting SofM to get that. Rakan is open for on if he wants to try and go towards that, but already you can see the Jinx taken nice and early.
Yep, that Jinx is the first lock-in. Not surprising, but that is, well, it's not super surprising. It's been sneaking into the meta, but I was not expecting it to be just slammed in like that. Huanfeng finding that way to play lethality again.
And this is such a potent early game style. When you're able to set up the Misfortune and the Hecarim, your level 6 is so incredibly strong. And for JDG, they're going to have to see how they can try and respond. Tam Kench hovered here for missing does make sense. But I think you're kind of setting yourself up for a bit of a bad time because you still have to put yourself into harm's way of the Hecarim, especially if on is going to go towards a Rakan. You don't want to give that more engage options for Weibo. So instead, he goes towards the Thresh, says, look, I'll give lanterns to people to get out of the bullet time and we'll try and keep you safe that way instead.
And I will say, the Thresh for missing, I feel like this is one of the champions that he really made a name for himself on. It was these hook champions. I mean, the Blitzcrank was one of them as well, but that Thresh, very much a signature for him. The Ahri locked in does leave the Veigar open once more. We saw it for the first 3 games of the series. I think Angel's going to be happy to go for that once again.
Yeah, just on the missing point, this is 100% his best champion. Like, I love Missing's Thresh, and I think we've seen a few times throughout the split, but I think he's gotten like 2 or 3 MVP performances on
Missing
that pick alone. So.
Just to add to your point here, he has a 100% win rate this split on Thresh. Yeah. Over 8 games. Like, he does not mess about when he's got his Thresh.
Yeah, and you can see that JDG are trying to set him up for success as well. Banning away Leona, probably going to ban away the Nautilus as well. It does feel like you're probably setting up for a Rakan pick for on, unless you want to ban the Rakan here away, but we'll have to see exactly what the plan's going to be. On Weibo's side, though, you see no jungler for JDG. They're banning away the Volley Bear. Maybe he's got the Veigar ban, but it's actually going to be the Trundle taken away. So getting rid of these strong early game skirmishes, because Weibo just want to make sure that everywhere they go on the map, they are going to be more powerful than JDG, and with at least the way the draft has been set up on the spot side, that's going to be the case. You imagine counter pick would be for TheShy here as well, so he should have a good matchup in the top side. I'll have to see how JDG are going to be able to respond.
I feel like the onus is on JDG, right, to find a creative way to draft this one. The Rakan has been left open right here.
There it is.
Which, I mean, it's On's best champion. I'm kind of amazed that the Nautilus was banned instead of Rakan, because to me, for On, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, it's comfort for missing, comfort for on. You're getting like a very aggressive bot lane for Weibo that even synergizes so well when you get to team fights. And now we got to see how JDG are going to respond. You got this Kennen coming in. This is 369's pick for this split. It should do relatively well when you're looking at, like, you know, Rakan diving in, the Hecarim diving in, but the thing is, it doesn't really have threat for this Misfortune. I want to see something that can actually, like, interrupt the bullet time, but when you've got no Leona, you haven't got a Gragas or anything in, it feels like Huanfeng is going to be pretty much free to set up willy-nilly in these fights. That's why Zhao coming in for Kanavi is like, look, maybe I can try and ignore it, but okay, Zhao did get nerfed on 12.5. Yeah. He's only got 4 seconds of that invulnerability in the ult, which surprisingly makes a very big difference. Just that 1 second can break this champion.
It means you're not as impossible to deal with in the fight. So with him getting nerfed, with Gwen getting nerfed, that invulnerability combo that we so often saw has been removed. TheShy bringing out an absolute classic here. Any European fans internationally will know all about TheShy's Aatrox. It is devastating to play up against, and bringing it out against 369, both of them with a signature. Oh man, I cannot wait to watch this top lane.
And he has a 60% win rate over the course of his career. 33 games played. It's not like he's, well, I don't mean it, but shy to bring it out. Like, this is, he knows what he can do on this champion. And certainly against the Kennen, it can do pretty well. Like, you have those ethereal chains to, like, pull the Kennen back whenever he tries to engage. You've got, like, decent ways of, like, having those knockups that can prevent Kennen from getting into the fight. And you're able to kind of lifesteal a lot of the way through that Kennen ult as well, even if you do get caught in the mix. So it really does feel like TheShy wanting to once more step up as a carry and try and beat back 369.
And it feels like, to me at least, Weibo were holding on to some strategies here, right? Yeah. We're bringing out an Aatrox as the final pickup. We're bringing out the Misfortune here in game number 5. Weibo were waiting for the moment where they're pushed against the ropes, and now bringing out the big guns, bringing out the strategies they've been holding on to. And you can tell it's game 5. Everything being held until the last moment. And now JDG and Weibo go toe-to-toe once more as we'll head towards the Rift. And Dagda, you have to remember, this is kind of the old e-commerce war as well. Jindong versus Suning, with the two big e-commerce giants in China. Obviously Suning now becoming Weibo, but still that little bit of rivalry coming on through. I will say I'm excited about this bottom lane. We've been talking about the top lane all through the series, and that is a banger matchup. We've also got a matchup in the bottom lane that can be extremely volatile.
Hey, and there's no questions about what's on the wish list for either of these teams. Like, when you look, it is about booking that date with RNG, making sure that you can put yourself into that double elimination bracket. You've got comfort in so many different roles here. Hope on his most played, Missing on his best champion, 369 on his most played. You look across the opposite side on bringing back out this Rakan, and TheShy going back towards old comfort in this Aatrox. All the gloves are off. They are trying to put themselves forward, and it really is going to be a case of looking at this top lane once more for me, because all roads seem to lead north in this series.
They certainly do. 369 and TheShy. And it's not even just a 1v1, right? So often throughout this series, we've seen SofM and Kanavi making their way into that top lane and trying to influence it. But look at the items for 369. Cull to start things off. He knows that he doesn't really want to be scrapping that much. He wants to be farming, wants to be trying to zone TheShy away. But on the other side as well, Huanfeng starting with a tier in that bottom lane. It's not something I'm used to seeing necessarily.
This is actually something that's specifically against the Jinx, because what you tend to do with this Misfortune is you are using this Comet to try and poke out Hope as often as possible, and also trying to match the push from the Jinx. And you can see it there, right? Like, you're just trying to basically spam this E off cooldown, and you'll actually end up maxing the E in a lot of situations as well. And that way then you can actually push back the Jinx, but also when you max the E, it ups the slow time as well. So when you hit level 6, you're actually able to put down that E on top of Hope, plus the ultimate, and you'll basically one-shot Hope if he's not careful.
And it's crucial when it comes to like the 8-minute mark as well, right? Because so often we'll see the supports leave that bottom lane to try and fight for Herald, but both AD carries stay in the bottom side. We see it with Jinx versus Aphelios, where the Aphelios finds an advantage to finds an opportunity to go aggressive. Well, the same thing for this Misfortune, right? If you do find that slow, you can very easily, at minimum, burn a flash.
And I think level 6 is going to be a lot of what Weibo are trying to play around. Like, Huanfeng becomes really strong. SofM the same, on getting access to the quickness as well. Like, the skirmish potential and even the team fight potential at these early neutrals is going to be insane for Weibo, and it's something that JDG have not been kind of cautious about throughout this series. We've seen them take these late game scaling compositions but still try to contest Weibo at a lot of these objectives, and it's something that we kind of pointed out JDG will do.
Yagao's in trouble here, knocked back by SofM, forced to flash. The Ignite is there as well. Angel flashes forward, and there's first blood. Angel picks it up for himself, and again, SofM so proactive in this early game.
And even just as such an unusual jungle path for SofM as well, you can see like Raptors into this bot side. That's what caught JDG out there, not really understanding, what was the jungle route from SofM, and he's now done 4 camps, hits his level 3, and managed to sneak in behind perfectly onto Yagao. And even with the flashes, Angel pops himself that corrupting pot, has the time warp tonic, so he's able to get that nice little bit of health back, and they finish off the mid lane.
Once again, Angel finding his SofM finding his opportunity in this early game. 369 doing a good job in the top lane to find himself an individual lead. But once again, I want to reiterate what we talked about in game number 1 of this series between the two AD carries, right? Hope versus Huanfeng, both starting off in 2020, both having amazing starts to their career in 2020, but Hope not able to push that forwards, not able to do well in playoffs, not able to step up onto the international stage where Huanfeng did. But if you think back to the meta in that split of 2020, it was Varus, which Hope really, really renowned for, but it was also this Misfortune, this lethality Misfortune was one of the premier picks, and now an opportunity in the bottom side as the hook. Great play there from Missing to deny it and force a cleanse out from the side of Huanfeng. SofM being chased into the jungle. There's a charm, there's a pick, and Yagao grabs himself a red buff.
And there's how you play against the Hecarim. If you have a Hecarim, he can gank really well, he can set up for some of these plays, but he is incredibly weak in the 2v2 or when he gets invaded. So you see there, Kanavi just trying to punish it. Wind becomes lightning, will stop the back from TheShy, who is well aware that bad things are coming his way.
He knows this ain't going to end well for him. Kanavi having to dash to the wave, though. A lot of life still coming out from TheShy, and he'll be able to walk away. Actually takes half of Kanavi's health in the meantime, so very well played by TheShy. SofM hovering as well to protect his top lane. Crucially, XP being denied from TheShy here as he tries to move up towards that top lane. Flash forward from 369. The stun is there and the kill for Kanavi. SofM pushing Kanavi under the tower. There's one tower shot. Can SofM do any more, though? Because Yagao is entering the fray. Plenty of players from JDG are here, trying to clear the wave, trying to get the damage. There's a charm. There's a wind becomes lightning, but Yagao taking tower shots. They're going to find one kill. SofM turns it back.
369 just had to step that bit too far forward to get the auto attack, which meant he falls, but so much blood in favor of JDG, and you can see it all started with this play. Kanavi invading off that mid pressure gets the kill on SofM, so they get one, and then Yagao just roams back to the mid, pushes the wave, and instantly moves towards this top side as well. And again, this is why I want to highlight, like, the mid jungle from JDG we usually don't talk about, but it is starting to really step up over the course of the last few weeks in this playoffs, and it's why JDG are able to turn this pressure around in the top side of the map.
Yep, 369 steps a little too far forward. Crucially, no minions under the tower, right? So the tower shots don't reset the damage that they're doing. So that last shot hits. Huanfeng versus Hope here on moving on over. Hope has to be a little cautious, does have his flash available, but with that massive wave in the bottom side, Huanfeng quite happy to just go over, clear that one up instead of trying to go too aggressive onto the enemy AD carry.
But this is now where Yagao gets to step up. Like, JDG have gotten 2 kills now for the Ahri, already has the Boots of Lucidity, going to be able to churn out a bunch of those spells and start to look to roam. And when you see how strong Kanavi is in the 1v1 against SofM, if you've now got Ahri in the back pocket as well, you can really start to put the constraints onto Weibo. We'll have to see, though, if Kanavi is going to go for that, as we haven't seen it so far this series.
Yeah, a little bit of damage onto missing, but not much off the back of it. And SofM perhaps going to start a Drake. Looks like not for now, as he moves up to the rest of his team. On, caught up by a hook. There's a Flame Chompers as well, but immediately answered by Huanfeng, just dropping down to make it rain and putting some pressure out. He's almost level 6 himself. We've got to keep our eyes on that bottom lane.
Better pop from Angel. They're trying to see if they can get onto Kanavi, but not quite able to get there. Still, though, JDG, they're just kind of ignoring the bot side. They don't actually care about dragons, it feels like, anymore either. It's all about just getting control for 369 against TheShy. I mean, this was not, like, I knew that this was going to be a hype matchup. I didn't expect this much attention from both sides.
Oh, bit of damage onto missing. There's an ignite as well. Make it rain available. Big damage to the Comet comes on down, but it's not quite enough. Missing survives now. Hope trying to trade it back, but won't be able to finish anyone off. Missing lives through the play. Kanavi now trying to make a dive happen up in the top side. TheShy, the target once more. And we saw tanks. We saw a very passive matchup to start this series off. The longer it's gone on, the more volatile this top lane has become. And as you say, even JDG acknowledging they have to change their entire identity as a team for this matchup because it's just too damn good.
And I mean, at the moment, it's been a case of 369 coming out on top, like a 15 CS lead for himself at the moment. It's giving pressure for Kanavi to go into the jungle, but Kanavi is taking a hit when it comes towards his own plan. He's been not able to get into affect SofM as much as he would like. SofM actually coming out with a bit of an experience lead. He is going to be clearing his camps once more, moving back down towards this bottom side. So it's going to be a bit of a different story here from JDG, where they are the ones that are going to have to try and find ways to force Weibo into these fights and trying to, like, use these Rift Heralds to snowball the game, so then Hope is too big of a threat over Huanfeng. Yagao is in a position where he can threaten Weibo as well, and Weibo's kind of mid-game spike isn't being hit as effectively as they'd like.
Oh no, Hope, you're all so in trouble. Wait, hang on. He just doesn't do enough damage. SofM uses the ignite. Did have his ultimate available. I'm a little surprised he didn't pop that one to try and finish the kill, but at least denied the recall and will deny some minions from Hope off the back of the play. But I think it'll be a little sad not to have the kill.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised SofM kind of committed to it. Like, not going to be able to get the kill, but it does give Kanavi a time to know, hey, look, the reset's coming through for the Hecarim. I'm just going to start up the dragon. It may have been spotted, I'm not sure, but I wasn't sure, not off the vision, but I think there was a blast cone that might have been hit, but I mean, it looks like JDG will be able to get this regardless.
Huanfeng in trouble here, missing. Oh, this is beautiful from JDG. A lantern there as well. Huanfeng trying to get over to his support, but it ain't gonna happen. Gets a bit of damage down, but that's all he'll get. It's a dragon and a pick for JDG. Very nicely played. And look at Yagao's scoreline, man. Already on the hat trick. And Yagao is the kind of player that quite often has very quiet games. But he is feast or famine. And when it's time to eat, this guy chows down. That's why he's called toothpaste, because he's constantly having to clean his teeth, make sure to avoid the plaque after these delicious feasts.
If you cast your mind back to those finals in 2020 against Top Esports, when the chips were down, when JDG needed someone to step up, it was Yagao on the Lucian that stepped up and brought them across the finish line, that had the hero moment to claw that spring finals back against Top Esports. And Yagao now, in this Game 5, when JDG need people to be accountable, it's Yagao stepping up once more, on the roams, on the plays, linking up with Kanavi. Yagao is having a great series thus far for JDG.
And crucially missing there as well to be able to corral Huanfeng into that position. Kanavi's waiting in the brush though, On's in trouble. The quickness going to be used. Can he get to Huanfeng? That's a beautiful hook from Missing. And another play from JDG. This early game belongs to them.
This is the comfort for JDG. Missing is on fire on this Thresh. Kanavi on a strong skirmishing jungler where he can do what he wants with the lanes. And you've got 369 who says, look lads, I'll take a little bit of early attention. Thank you very much. But let's get this bot lane rolling. Let's get Hope to the late game. And to say he's been snowballed is an understatement. 2 kills already got into his back pocket. Now he's getting the turret plates as well. And if they start to rotate Hope around the map like they tend to do, he can start to get more plates in this top side as well. Weibo trying to see if they can answer though, but with 369 pushing in this top wave, they're not in a position to go for a dive.
Not just yet. 369 managing to hold the wave too far away. Is SofM just going to look for camps instead? Will be able to get the wolves at least for himself. So something on the top side for Weibo. But as you rightly say, JDG completely in control. I want to revisit the compositions here, Dagda, because right now it's feeling like Weibo massively out of control of this game. 3,500 gold lead in favor of JDG. What's the game plan at this point for Weibo?
Try and kill 369 before Hope shows up, because they are on a ticking timer.
Oh, SofM's just going to go under the tower, pushes him back. 369 has so much damage though, but it is a kill for TheShy. Triumph comes on through, and now Yagao trying to finish the kill off. He'll get it with the Everfrost, but TheShy has so much lifesteal, and a zap from Hope. It's Hope to get the kill at the end. They've accidentally funneled their AD carry.
And now Hope is in a position to start pushing in this top side. SofM has already committed everything, and yes, Huanfeng is on the bottom turret, but a Jinx with a Gale Force is going to do a lot more. Weibo trying to respond in mid, but Kanavi's on the way to help Yagao punish the people who stick behind.
Oh, On could be in trouble as well. Angel, you got to be there for your support to dash away. Event Horizon there. SofM round number 2 in the bottom side, knocks him straight into the bullet time, but that's going to be it. The damage isn't there. Or then again, SofM decides to use the ult this time. There's a kill at the bottom side from Weibo. Trying to trade effectively on the map. But as you said, Hope has solo time on the tower up in this top lane. Look at the AD carry difference right now. Similar CS, but 0-2-1, 3-0-1 for Hope, as well as already having finished the tower in the bottom side and getting some plates up top.
Yeah, the biggest thing for Hope is just about trying to find access to these fights, because when you're looking at like SofM driving the backline, TheShy, even the bullet time over the top, it can be hard as a Jinx to get these fights rolling, but JDG, they're doing such a good job of commanding the early game that it feels they should be in a position where it's actually difficult for Huanfeng and for Weibo to set up correctly.
Really nicely done here by SofM and Huanfeng to at least finish 1 kill and trade what was happening up in the top side of the map. Once again, Angel going for this movement speed build on the Veigar. And I feel like this is now the game where Weibo, I mean, obviously the entire split, this experiment with having TheShy up in the top lane for the team, this is the culmination. They're on the brink of elimination from playoffs. If they can win this one, they'll make it double elim. But the 3,000 gold down right now, and On might be caught. Huanfeng might be caught. There's a hook. The cleanse going to be used. Everfrost is there, but Huanfeng survives for now. Trying to get to the rest of his team as On dashes away, but the rocket goes slightly shy of hitting Huanfeng. One pick for JDG, as they can just look towards the mid lane. Forget the Drake. They can look for a tower.
How the hell did Missing found Huanfeng on that? Like, just like curving the hook around On. Manages to get the AD carry, and that sends Weibo packing. And now JDG sitting pretty in this game. A 3,500 gold lead for them. Dragon is on the way, and SofM is being chased down on the wrong side of the map.
They don't actually know he's here. He went to take Raptors while all of that was going on. He's like, oh, my team's dying. Okay, I'll get some chickens. He's in enemy territory, and he has not been spotted just yet, if my intel is correct, because he was sweeping his way through that jungle. He could try and go for a steal. It would be a controversial play. He's not even going to go for that. He's just chilling. He wants this red buff.
He's just wants red buff. Oh, SofM, you are a man. You are a man. JDG,
He's not even going for the red. He's waiting. I think he wants a pick or something.
Yeah,
big damage
like
onto Hope. This is what he was waiting for. The long con comes on through. SofM finds the pick onto Hope.
All right, I'll take it back. SofM sticking around for so long, and now JDG trying to see if they can rectify this, though.
Angel drops the event horizon to protect himself and Kanavi. Having to use that Crescent Guard, but they will protect the mid lane tower. JDG at least holding on to the objective.
Yeah, and crucially getting some much needed gold over towards Huanfeng. Like, look at the difference in builds between these two AD carries. Like, you're essentially on your second item finished now for Hope, whereas you're only one for Huanfeng. And again, I don't understand how the hell that hook managed to curve around On, but fair dues to Missing. And here again, just going to see SofM, the secret agent, sneaking in behind. And again, because he'd waited so long, JDG just assumed he was out of there. Didn't expect him to still be sitting and playing around the vision that JDG hadn't established in their own jungle.
And I didn't think I would say this, but in game number 5, Dagda, between Weibo and JDG, it's all down to SofM. He honestly has not had that great of a split. It's felt quite often like SofM has had really, really weird games, but in playoffs so far, he's looked great On. Oh, he misses the jump over the wall as well. He's decided to turn off for game number 5.
And on his Rakan as well, this was such a massive pick for him. It felt like it was going to be comfort for him, but unfortunately for On, the pressure feels like being in this game 5 just is getting to him.
Would you say that the pressure is on? Is that where you're going with that one? JDG control on the top side as we move swiftly on from that terrible joke. 3 minutes until Drake comes up. Angel pushing in the bottom side in the meantime. And I have to say, Weibo need a miracle. But they have found miracles before, Dagda, at the 22-minute mark. That fateful moment. Around 20 minutes, Weibo always seem to find something magical. The 3,000 gold down, and boy, will they need it this time. But SofM, once again, waiting in the brush here. Yagao walks past. SofM has information. Can he find a play once more? On. Moving into the jungle as well. There's no vision here. Yagao could be in serious trouble. And there's a Herald available for SofM. Yagao the target. The fear is going to come through. The knockback into the stun. Oh, it's gorgeous from Weibo. They find a pick. How are they pulling this off? SofM, he's a mad genius.
Yagao just needed to burn the flash, but he doesn't. But TheShy might be punished instead.
World Ender from TheShy does have a blast cone in here. Can he use it to keep himself safe? I don't think so. I think he's accepted. He's going down in this one, but how much time can he buy? The lifesteal coming up clutch from TheShy as he tries to keep the 2 players in the play. Finally falls. That's 369 taking the kill. The rest of his team not able to do much elsewhere, but JDG with another pick. It's 2,500 gold lead in JDG's favor. 2 minutes on the Drake.
So trading 1 for 1 on sides. 369 can reset, and if he needs to, TP in, still has that available, and very close towards a Shadow Flame as well. So this cannon is going to hurt, especially it looks like he'll finish this off a reset. Like, this cannon's going to be huge. And you need to now make sure as Weibo, look, these Q picks have been nice. They've been working out, but if you can make it happen at the next team fight, that could be the difference maker. Otherwise, you need to ward your flanks and make sure 369 with the flash, with the TP, isn't just decimating you the second you try and take this fight.
Yeah, and remember, it's an Infernal Soul, this game as well. Like, if you can't take any of these Drakes, Weibo, the last thing you want to be dealing with is a Kennen with Infernal, an Ahri with Infernal, and not to mention a Jinx in the late game with Infernal Soul. The game's over at that point. So Weibo need to be grouping up. Now, the Weibo composition, pretty self-explanatory, right? Bunch of circles, and then Huanfeng. I feel like that one kind of explains itself.
Yeah.
JDG, a little more complex. I'm going to hold the thought on win conditions here because we might have a fight in the mid lane.
369!
Dashing away. Oh, it's a flank from 369, and they found Angel. Wiped off of the face of the map. TheShy in the middle of everyone trying to buy time. There's a bullet time, but it does nothing. A stopwatch and a crescent guard, and now Huanfeng left alone. SofM trying to get into the play, but the 20-minute play has backfired. This time it serves JDG, and a triple for Hope.
A Baron just spawns to be peppered down instantly, and JDG 15-6, a 5,000 gold lead, a Baron on their cards, and they are trying to punch a ticket to our double elimination brackets.
And JDG fans everywhere letting out a huge sigh of relief. JDG had such an incredible end to the split, right? 6-win streak coming into playoffs, managing to push themselves all the way up to 3rd place in the standings at the end of the split, managing to beat the 4-way tie and get that 3rd place spot. And now finally showing up in this best of 5, looking amazing in game number 5.
And you're seeing why these picks are so crucial across the board for JDG. 369 has been so good all split long of finding these flank positions to bring JDG into games where they had no right being them, or just turning fights entirely on their head and catching people out. They caught Weibo there, missing with some great hooks, the repositions on the lanterns, and Kanavi 109. He's been able to dictate the pace of this early game. SofM has had some nice plays, been able to get these cute angles of attack around the lack of JDG vision, but now JDG barred up with 3 dragons to their name. They are looking to stamp Weibo out.
They certainly are. Kanavi having an amazing series for himself. He's been having an amazing split for himself. As On might be caught in the jungle here. He's going to have to try and escape. Will dash over towards TheShy. But On, once again, has to dash away. Yagao might be caught, though. There's a fear. Can they stop the lantern? The answer's yes, as Angel just blasts him into oblivion. And now into the mid lane. JDG, despite losing a player, are still the ones on the aggression. In they go. Kanavi having to use the Crescent Guard, stuck inside the event horizon, but he will be able to escape to the rest of his team for now. Weibo yet again finding a pick, but losing an objective.
SofM looking to see if he can find the mad flank, but not able to get in onto it. And Yagao taking that step too far forward once more. And SofM, you called him much like trying to heap Weibo in this. And oh, hang on.
Huanfeng's been caught.
Oh,
There's
my God!
Whoa! The damage from 369. He didn't pop the ulti, though. I can't believe it. Huanfeng actually walks away.
Huanfeng just about able to escape, but my God, that damage from 369 is terrifying. 369, though, I think was the right call to keep the ult. Like, picking Huanfeng doesn't net you much, but if you can look for a dive on these towers, that can be so much more. JDG trying to milk the last little bit of this Baron buff that they can, but SofM is, again, like, he's playing so well around the vision of JDG. They're going to catch them.
I don't know if they are, though, because look at the gold difference. I think even if they find a fight here, they might just lose it. Huanfeng needs to be so cautious. SofM in the middle of no man's land here, On looking for the engagement. Look, they just get blown up. The damage isn't there. Missing will go down. It's support for support, but that's everything used by Weibo now. And once again, JDG in complete control.
I mean, for Weibo, having a pick for a pick is not the end of the world. There's no big objectives up while your ultimates are down, so it ends up just being some gold given back in your favor. They're hoping to get 369, which would have been crucial, but yeah, I mean, Yagao, really big mistake here. And you can see, like, SofM just is doubling down every time on getting the fear back into the team, but here, if they caught 369, maybe, but like, On absolutely rinsed, and 369 just have to use the Hextech Protobelt to escape, while missing gets a big old run to the bullet time, which ends up trading it back in favor of Weibo.
This has been absolutely brutal, but I will say it's been phenomenal to see JDG performing like this. And crucially, 369, right? Having such a good game on his Kennen. And again, a player that was criticized so heavily last year. This feels good to see him stepping up. And crucially, if they can win this this series stepping into the double elimination bracket, where not only does his replacement top lane lie, but also that jungler Karsa that said all those mean things to him at the end of last year. I can't wait to see if Karsa and 369 get to have it out in the double elimination bracket, but that still remains to be seen. It is looking real good, and it's a minute and a half until potentially Seoul for JDG while they have an 8,000 gold lead. But Dagda, it isn't over just yet, because one thing I will say for Weibo, at least they have an easy comp, right? You just group up, press R, look for the best.
This is so tense. A minute left until this dragon. Weibo have the tools, as you say, to just press or and try and win, but trying to get themselves established in River so they can correctly press or at the right place, the right time, is eluding them. SofM still trying to play the secret agent style, look for picks. It worked against EDG. Can it still work against JDG? Missing, as you can see, they're very aware of what SofM is trying to achieve. They know that this is the only way that they can lose.
It's so funny watching SofM this game. Like, win or loss, SofM's had a hilarious game regardless. But remember, this is double elimination on the line. Hope and Kanavi having to back away, missing with the lantern to try and protect his carries. SofM, I feel like he's pressed S more than any other button this game as he's been sneaking around the map. He will be able to clear the ward or not, just recall on it. I'm a little confused. As on. Now we'll spot that control ward out. Angel could be in trouble, but the charm goes wide from Yagao. That's a big ulti burn. Kanavi not quite pulled back in. The event horizon would have been huge if that pull had happened. TheShy could be the target here. Half his health already gone. Does not have the sustain just yet, as he barely survives thanks to a shield from On. Now the fear out from SofM. He's gone crazy. Dashes out the backside of the play. Big ult across the team, but it's not enough. And now Kanavi chasing them down. Huanfeng flashes out to safety. Yagao trying to chase. It's not enough, though. JDG find themselves a pick, and with Seoul on the line, SofM just about gets the recall off, but it doesn't matter, because the Drake will go down. JDG have Seoul.
This time, Yagao got the Everfrost off onto SofM before he got feared, which meant that he was able to stay alive. Angel, woohoo, missing one to that one.
Close one, close one. Angel gets out, though. Crucially, SofM is alive. Maybe some kind of miracle still can happen here. Angel over the wall as well. Remember, Veigar does mega damage. You can outdo a smite with a Veigar over the wall. There's a ward. Vision available for Weibo. TheShy is on the map. On is on the map. Looks like JDG decide they don't want to flip anything right now. They're almost 1,000 gold ahead, but that ain't enough to play sloppy.
I feel like JDG just missed timing the ultimates. They weren't actually sure when the Weibo ult would be on the board, but they were still down, but not wanting to risk it. So JDG back away and missing again. This is what we talk about. These hooks have been so crucial. They basically take TheShy out of the fight altogether. So now it's a 4 versus 5, and 369 taking a page out of SofM's book to see if he can find the flank. But Yagao with that Everfrost means that he's not able to be knocked back into the team in the way that SofM was hoping, and it means that Yagao lives to keep fighting. JDG, Seoul in their back pocket, vision control looking to be established on the top side, and Weibo, they're running out of options. This mid-game comp couldn't find a stride. JDG is starting to come online, but one fight could change it.
Oh, SofM's been caught. 369. We're talking about his redemption story. What a pick to make it happen. JDG now an uncontested Baron. 369 having one of the worst years of his career in 2021. Now 2022, he's a new player. Finds the pick onto SofM, who's been the shining light for Weibo this game. And now looking for a fight is On. Is caught. The Everfrost is there. There's a pick onto missing, but it's not going to be enough. TheShy in the backline trying to fight onto 3 people, but he doesn't have the stats. Hope chasing down On. Flashes forward for the reset. Misses the zap. There's an event horizon. Angel and Huanfeng, though. The 2 carries from Weibo on the wrong side of the map, chasing away through the jungle, buying what time they can. But JDG, they've got a TP to work with. 369 playing sheepdog, corralling Huanfeng, corralling Angel, and in he goes. One-shots Huanfeng. Angel's trying to turn it around, but he can't even get one. 369 healed by Hope, and JDG making it look good.
And this may be 2022, but this is 2020 take 2. As you start to move forward, JDG remind Weibo that Suning may have made it to the World Finals, but they were the LPL champions. They were the team that domestically overtook Suning, and JDG with Yagao moving into the top side are trying to do the same.
They're looking for a win here in playoffs. They've got their 8,000th kill in the history of the LPL as well for the organization. It's a beautiful day to be a JDG fan as TheShy is knocked down, on force back onto the fountain, and JDG look to continue their redemption stories. A knock up onto Huanfeng as Kanavi basically 1v1s him. Weibo will be knocked out of playoffs and JDG make it into the double elimination.
Comfort for JDG across the board, and you see the result. Absolute domination from JDG, missing on point with the hooks, 369 finding the flanks with the cannon, and Kanavi able to command the jungle against SofM. JDG stomp Weibo in Game 5.
And so many redemption stories, right? Missing on WE for years, not able to have much of an impact. Now on this JDG roster, managing to make it to the double elimination. We talked about Hope being stuck behind Viper on EDG last year, right? Finding a new roster, and it's working beautifully. Yagao having an amazing series. Kanavi is back on form, and then 369 after last year on top esports, after being criticized so heavily, managing to find a roster that's working for him. It feels like JDG, so many players coming together in this roster and finally finding a new home, and it's looking beautiful.
And I think it's also like not only the redemption side of it, but the growth side of it from every one of these players has been insane as well. Like Missing didn't have a very strong laning phase, but when you look at Missing over the course of this series, able to catch out and kind of pick up kills alongside Hope in that bottom side of the map in the duo lane. You're looking across as well at like his series leading up to playoffs, and he was doing the exact same. Yagao starting to link up with Kanavi, playing around wave management, like moving with the team. And now 369 as well, we've seen him perform on things like the Lucian. We've seen him have pop-off games the Kennen, but the tanks, the Gragas's, everything else coming into the mix as well. It feels like across the board, we're getting growth from every member in JDG, and it's coming together beautifully for them.
Yeah, JDG managing to pull it out in game number 5. Blue side, actually 100% win rate at the end of this series as well. But it does feel good to see JDG managing to move forward. I feel like across the course of this split, they have been the better team out of these two. I was a little nervous for them, honestly, going into game number 5, because it felt like Weibo had sort of downloaded them after game number 4, but managed to make it happen. And crucially, seeing this draft from Weibo with this lethality MF down in the bottom side and basically saying, no, we're just going to destroy Huanfeng, and then he can never get these lethality items.
Yeah, look, it's a nice attempt, and I like the idea from Weibo. It was just a case of JDG getting ahead in the early stages. Like, when you get those 3 kills early going to Yagao, and then he's starting to roam around the map, JDG, you're starting to pick up those dragons, and you're not really getting to contest those early objectives, then Weibo's team plan starts to fall apart. Like, you don't have that big level 6 fight that kind of snowballs you or propels you into a position where you're comfortable.